What's your service area?
We are in Tampa, and we are also we work with Blue Pearl Veterinary Hospitals in Sarasota and Brandon and Largo as well.
So no matter where you live, basically call you if you're in Tampa.
Absolutely.
Okay, the Frankie's Friends Charitable Pet Foundation. Thank you. Divorce Allen is with Stay Focused Tampa.
Yes, ma'am. Our mission is to provide financial support and help for kids in the Hillsborough County area that need vision care and glasses. We're also happy to be here, and we're looking for community partners and sponsors.
Love the name, Stay Focused.
Yes, ma'am. We believe that there's a direct link between education and vision care. If the kids can't see the backboard, they can't learn.
And inherent in here, a lot of families can't afford glasses.
Yes, ma'am, and we support all of Hillsborough County and their kids.
Okay, Tavoris with Stay Focused. Thank you. And you are with Jefferson Dragons. Jefferson High School.
We are the Alumni Association, and we provide scholarships, and we always look for money for scholarships for our graduating seniors.
Tell us where Jefferson High School is.
On Cypress.
In Tampa.
In Tampa.
And why is this important?
It's important for kids to have education, and we fight every year, all year long. We sell things at the school, we sell things to the community, and we provide scholarships. It's a very noble thing to do, is to provide an education for a young child.
Final word.
We need help.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. That concludes this hour of our Give Day Tampa Bay webcast. But stay with us. There are a number of outstanding groups yet to come. The over 550, I think it's close to 600 nonprofits who are participating in Give Day touch people's lives in hundreds of different ways. Here are a couple of outstanding organizations who are making a difference in Tampa Bay.
I had done bobcat rehab and release since I was 17 years old, but in my 30s I ended up at an exotic animal auction, and the person next to me was bidding on a bobcat. And when I turned to him and said, when that cat grows up, she's going to tear your face off, he said, oh, I don't care, I'm a taxidermist, I'm just going to club her in the head in the parking lot. And so we came home with that bobcat, and her name was Winsong, and she is the founder and the beginning of Big Cat Rescue. In addition to the work that we do to try and preserve these animals in the wild, Big Cat Rescue is known globally for trying to end the trade in these animals so that there's no need for a place like ours to exist. The one thing we hear more than anything else on the tours at Big Cat Rescue is, I had no idea. And usually what people are referring to is that they had no idea that so many of these lions and tigers are ending up in backyards and basements all across America. The main driver for that is that people will pay to have their picture made with a cute little cub. And that cub's only cute and cuddly for a few weeks. And then once it gets too big, they're usually given away to people who are totally unprepared to take care of a cat that could grow to be 700 pounds. And as soon as that cat starts getting too big, that's when we get the call, please come get this out of my house. In addition to the work that we do to giving lifetime care to the animals that we've rescued and the rehab and release, the main thing that Big Cat Rescue does that no other sanctuary does is that we devote time and energy and resources to ending the problem, changing the laws, changing the way USDA allows these cub handling schemes to happen. And so by making that difference, we will be saving thousands of animals who never end up being abused and neglected.
Primarily what our agency offers to people in the Tampa Bay area is information and education and support about how to be the most confident and competent parents that they can be for their children, whatever the children's ages. One of the programs that we provide is our educational puppetry program, which we offer throughout the Hillsborough County in partnership with the Hillsborough County Public School System. And the third graders are taught about child abuse and neglect, and the fourth graders are taught about stereotyping and bullying and alternatives to violence. After every one of those shows, which touched the lives of more than 25,000 children in last year alone, we have those children write letters to the puppets. And the words of the children are always the most inspiring to me, and I want to read you some of the things that they said. They're very straightforward, and they get right to the point. So here is what an 8-year-old child said to a puppet after learning about child abuse and neglect. She said, "Stop the circle of abuse and tell a responsible adult so that torture stops now." Another 8-year-old in 3rd grade said, "I'm a big fan. Thanks for telling me what is abuse and what is not abuse. What I learned is very important. Say no, then go and tell a responsible adult." By the same token, with our 4th graders, where we teach them about issues of bullying, one child said, "I got bullied and felt like my life was over. You said it's okay to tell my mom. Thanks. You helped me sleep at night." We believe that the best use of our time is to work with any family, anywhere, regardless of the family circumstance, to get them the best information and the best support so that they learn really how kids tick. What we've learned after 35+ years is that every family faces challenges, so the smartest thing for us to do is help any parent who's interested in becoming a more informed, more confident, more supported parent. Just get the information and the support that they need so that they can do their best and not feel alone and not feel bad about making mistakes. That's what we think we're here for, is to help parents feel confident and competent.
Welcome to Give Day Tampa Bay 2016, live from the WEDU studios at the Berkman Family Broadcast Center.
Good afternoon and welcome to Give Day Tampa Bay 2016. My name is Ernest Hooper from the Tampa Bay Times, and I'll be your host for the next hour of our live streaming webcast. We are here at the WEDU studios in Tampa with representatives from some of more than 550 nonprofits who are participating in Give Day Tampa Bay. The theme of Give Day is Live Here, Give Here, and making a donation is quick and easy. Just log on to givedaytampabay.org and search for your favorite charity from our list of participants. When you hit the donate button, you will fill in your credit card information and make your secure gift. The minimum donation is only $25. Give Day will be going on until midnight tonight. We'll be live streaming here until 7 p.m. In the next hour, I'll be talking and listening to various nonprofit groups who are making a difference in Tampa Bay. While our next guests are being seated, let's go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. All right, joining us now from the Auto Club Group Traffic Safety Foundation are John Pecchio and Lindsay Pavlik. Welcome, John and Lindsay. Glad to have you here.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about the Auto Club Group Traffic Safety Foundation. I see you have a display, and it reminds me of when my kids were in elementary school.
Yeah, absolutely. It is one of the largest traffic safety programs in the world, but the mission of the Auto Club Group Traffic Safety Foundation is to produce a significant and continuous reduction in traffic crashes in the communities that we serve. We have several programs that we manage, everything from our child passenger safety up to teen driver safety. We have a great, robust distracted driving program. We have our AAA School Safety Patrol program and our senior driver safety program. So pretty much all things traffic safety.
Now, I understand there's an anniversary coming up regarding the Safety Patrol program.
Yeah, absolutely. Our AAA Traffic Safety, Auto Club Group Traffic Safety Foundation, AAA School Safety Patrol program has been in existence for almost 100 years. And we have sponsored, AAA has sponsored that. And basically what it does is it provides safety for students traveling to and from school. Lindsay manages the AAA School Safety Patrol program and does a real good job, and I didn't know if she wanted to say a few things about it.
Yeah, so basically the Auto Club Group Traffic Safety Foundation equips and provides schools with the resources and materials to perform their duties and run the program successfully. So with everyone's support, we are able to give those materials to schools and expand the program if they'd like, but to continue the program through the years. And this visual kind of shows, the progression of the program through, close to 100 years. So you can see the difference from left to right. I know that, we get a lot of reactions from patrol alumni who remember fondly their years as a patrol saying, oh, I had the white belt, I had the orange belt. Now we have our electric lime fluorescent green belt that's easily seen on our roadways. So it has a lot of history. It's a wonderful program. There's so much to say about it, so we wanted to focus it today.
Do you get a sense that you're instilling pride in the kids when they put on that belt?
Definitely. That's one of the major things. Not only does the program develop, leadership skills, but it teaches them about traffic safety. They learn about teamwork, effective communication. They're the role models at the school. The younger kids look up to them, and so they're extremely, proud when they put on their belts and badge and they represent their school as leaders.
John, you mentioned before some of the other programs you have. I would imagine that your teen safety program is drawing a lot of attention, particularly with texting being so prevalent in our society.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, approximately 9 teenagers die on our roadways in the United States each and every day, and that is it's just totally unfortunate. We do have a AAA driving simulators that we have deployed throughout our territory, and they focus on distracted driving, texting, and driving, as you mentioned. So our, Lindsay and I and the team back at Tampa headquarters, we do everything that we can in our territory in the Tampa Bay area to get out there, provide the education and outreach, because one death is one too many.
All right. Well, I'm sure the kids, it's a revelation when they get on the simulators and discover that they're really not driving as well as they think they are.
Yeah, and that is correct. I mean, they drive in the virtual world, and they experience deadly situations again in the virtual world. But there's also a series of consequence videos that comes to play here, and they really walk away with a good understanding of basically don't text and drive, because no life is worth it.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you joining us today. Thanks for being participants in Give Day Tampa Bay. And while our next guests are being seated, let's go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. There are a number of Give Day incentives and prizes to encourage you to donate. The Casper's Education and Youth Development Prize of $5,000 each is awarded to both the small nonprofit and the large nonprofit in the education and youth development category with the most dollars raised. So give generously and help support education and youth development in the Tampa Bay area. Go to giveday.org. And speaking of education, joining us now from the Ryan Wells Foundation is Mike Wells. Mike, how are you today?
Very good, very good. Thank you for having us here today, and thank the WEDU for sponsoring this.
Tell me a little bit about the Ryan Wells Foundation and what you guys do to help fulfill dreams.
Okay. The Ryan Wells Foundation is in honor of our son Ryan, who in the summer of 2005, while representing his high school, Tarpon Springs High School, at a culinary event at Johnson Wales, lost his life in a car accident. while returning home. We were asked by both his Boy Scouts, where Ryan was an Eagle Scout, and his school, if we would start something up for culinary scholarships. We gladly accepted the challenge, and we started the Ryan Wells Foundation in September of 2005. From there, our main focus is giving scholarships to deserving seniors and also helping the schools. And it's not just Tarpon Springs, it's Osceola, Dixie Hollins, Northeast, and P-TECH of Clearwater and St. Petersburg. To date, we've given over 100 scholarships, and we've also given approximately $300,000 to those schools.
Wow, that's terrific. So with more than 100 scholarships, there's a pretty good chance if we've eaten out in Tampa Bay, we've probably had something prepared by one of your scholarship recipients.
Well, I'm sure you have. And we're also touching not just the scholarship recipients, but there's also a lot of students have gone through all these programs. These programs at these schools are like magnet programs. They come in there in 9th grade, and they'll start off with 70, 80 students, and they'll get down to probably usually about 30 to 35 that will graduate. But a lot of them are going on into the culinary world, whether or not it's going straight to the colleges or they might be going to straight out into the world. They come out with what they call a Pro Start certificate that will allow them, when they go to talk to the restaurants, these restaurants know what that Pro Start certificate means. And a lot of them are very well hired. So, yes, you probably have eaten from one of our students.
Yeah. Now, you were telling me you guys recently had one of your annual fundraisers where some of the top chefs from around the area came in and to help you raise money for the scholarships. Tell me a little bit more about that event.
Okay. It's called Evening with the Chefs, and we just recently had it April 22nd. It's down to Sheraton Sankey, and it's 11 of Pinellas County's best chefs. Just to name a few of them: Chris Pont, Cafe Pont, Justin Harry, Trade Winds, Tyson Grant, Park Shore, Mystic Fish, Guppies, Island Way Grill, Sam Pearl. I think Vinoy, William Dean Chocolates. All these guys come together. The students meet with them a couple days in advance, start preparing the gourmet dishes that they're going to serve, and then that night they serve them side by side with these great chefs. We sell it. We've been selling it out the last few years. We have a live auction, but the highlight of the night is the awarding of the scholarships.
What's the emotion when you see those scholarships rewarded?
It brings us to tears, to be honest. And the families are there. Scholarships range from this year from $8,000 to $16,000 for the scholarships, and it's heartwarming.
Well, Mike, your foundation, the work that you're doing, I know that Ryan's sister, you told me, is the executive director. The work you guys are doing are really changing lives and having a tremendous impact in our community. I thank you for coming in today and joining us for Give Day Tampa Bay. And while our next guests are being seated, we're going to go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. All right, welcome back to our live streaming for Give Day Tampa Bay here at WEDU. Joining me now is Aaron Rathbone from Sunrise of Pasco County. Aaron, I know that Sunrise is a domestic violence shelter. Tell me a little bit about the services you're providing for people in Pasco County?
Well, Sunrise provides a safe haven for victims of domestic and sexual violence to begin their healing and regain their power. By doing this, our advocates provide individualized service plans to connect survivors to community resources. They develop safety plans. They help them navigate the legal system. They provide counseling and individual advocacy to people in crisis. And then we also seek to prevent relationship violence before it begins by working with youth and local schools to sort of foster a culture of nonviolence.
Well, that's very interesting in terms of your work with the youth, because I know teen dating violence has become a real issue in recent years. What are some of the steps you take to try to convince these young men not to go down that path of teen dating violence?
Well, relationship violence can happen to anybody and can be anyone can be a victim or a perpetrator. So we really work with it's a youth-motivated, youth-empowered initiative where we have a youth community action team with high schoolers from different high schools in Pasco County, where they essentially create this plan for what a safe community looks like to them, and they work with their schools and their peace clubs to sort of spread that vision. And then they also have a summer youth leadership institute where they develop those leadership skills that will be necessary to see out their vision in the schools.
It sounds like the teens have been pretty responsive to that program.
They have. It's wonderful.
Excellent. How important is it for Sunrise to help build a self-esteem? And when people come into the shelter, how important is building up their self-esteem so they can make that transition from victim to survivor?
Well, we operate under an empowerment-based model of advocacy, which believes that survivors are experts in their own experiences. So we don't tell them what to do. We don't tell them what their healing looks like. We don't tell them you must achieve these certain benchmarks by a particular time. We really, advocates work with survivors to help them identify their goals and figure out the necessary steps to achieving those goals. And that, I think, really makes people feel like they're in control of their healing and in control of their lives.
So the key is empowerment, as you said.
Yes.
Any special events coming up for Sunrise? I know I've been seeing some of your TV commercials. They're very good.
Okay.
Anything special coming up?
Well, actually, on Saturday, we have one of our annual fundraising events. It's called Lobster Fest, and you can find more information on our website, which is sunrisepasco.org. But it's a really fun event, kind of silly. People dress up in nautical wear, and we've got someone dressed as a lobster, and there's going to be lobster and shrimp and corn, and people really seem to like it.
All right. Well, I'll be going to the website to find out more about that. That sounds like a terrific event. Aaron, thanks for coming in and joining us here on Give Day Tampa Bay. And while our next guests are being seated, let's go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. All right, welcome back to WEDU's live streaming for Give Day Tampa Bay. Joining me now for More Health are Carlene LeMaster and Lacey Stokes. Ladies, welcome to our live stream. Glad to have you here.
We're glad to be here.
Now, I understand that More Health devotes most of its time to going into our schools and sharing lessons with students about how to be healthier. Tell me a little bit more about what you're achieving.
Sure. We have been in the school system for 26 years, teaching them how to be safe and healthy. We last year taught over 200,000 students, one classroom at a time, and over the 26 years we've reached 3.4 million students.
Wow. Wow. So you've definitely had an impact on our youth here in Tampa Bay. Yes. What are some of the specific programs you take into the classroom?
Well, today we're here to talk about pedestrian and bicycle safety. As you probably know, Tampa Bay area is #1 for deaths and injuries due to bike and ped accidents. So we are trying to reverse that trend by providing pedestrian and bicycle safety in 1st grade and in 4th grade.
And it's the key helping the kids understand about the rules of the road,
Yes.
crossing at the crosswalk, not
Yes.
crossing in the middle of the street.
Correct. And we want to make sure students are wearing their helmets. If they are under the age of 16, it's a law in the state of Florida that they must wear a helmet. And we want to make sure that children are wearing their helmets properly. We have a rule, it's called the 2-2-4 rule. So when you have your helmet on top of your head, we want to make sure the front of the helmet comes 2 fingers above your eyebrows.
Okay.
2 fingers fit in between your chin and the strap, and then 4 fingers so the straps go on either side of your ears. So when you wobble your head, your helmet should not move. One thing that's great about More Health is that we provide helmets to those that need helmets. So when we go to a classroom and teach, that classroom teacher may contact us and say, hey, I have a few students that do not have helmets. Will you come out and provide a helmet for our child or our students, if it may be a whole class? And so that's one thing that we are blessed. We have funding from Florida Department of Transportation and Safe Routes to School that provides us monies to be able to purchase the helmets.
Another great thing is we have partnered last year and this year with Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office to team teach the 1st grade. So we have law enforcement as well as our instructor in talking to the students about how to stay safe on our streets. Next year, we're excited that TPD, Tampa Police Department, is going to be joining us also.
That is terrific. Now, 1st grade seems a little young to me, but I guess you would tell me, no, those 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds need to have this lesson.
They do. They're the ones, they're home after school, they're outside, they're playing in their front yard. And so our lesson, we teach them key steps of what to do to stay safe when they're outside. So we teach them if they are 10 and under, Safe Routes to School, they say, please do not cross the road by yourself. Make sure you're with an adult. We teach them if they are 10 or over, or if they are under the age of 10, to talk to their parents about how to cross safely, to look left, right, left before they cross. If there's a car coming, and if they're far, make sure they make eye contact with the driver of that car so they see them. Wow. Yeah, so we want to make sure that also if they ride the school bus, they're pedestrians when they get off that school bus. So we want to make sure that they cross 10 feet in front of the school bus before they cross the road. So the school bus driver sees them and cars also see them.
Yeah, we can't always assume that cars are going to stop
right
when the school buses stop. We've seen people run through those stops.
Yes, and also with crosswalk signals, we teach the students that the crosswalk signal does not have a brain. The child is the one, or the adult is the one with the brain, so they need to use their brain and stop, look, and listen before they cross the street.
All right, well, listen, I'm sure every parent out there appreciates the work you're doing. We need to bring more pedestrian safety, especially to our youth. I know just recently in the news we had a young man who was struck and killed by a car. So thanks so much for being here, Carlene, Lacey. Continued success with More Health, and thanks for being here on Give Day.
Thank you for having us.
All right. So while our next guests are being seated, let's go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. welcome back to WEDU's live streaming of Give Day Tampa Bay. Joining me now is Hannah Coward from the Pinellas Pasco Heart Gallery. We're so glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about the important mission of the Heart Gallery.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. The Heart Gallery of Pinellas and Pasco's mission is to find a home for every child in foster care. And we do that by taking amazing, beautiful portraits and now videos of children in the foster care system.
Yes, and your videos have proven to be quite effective from what I understand.
It's a new transition program for us to be able to work with our amazing kids more one-on-one and do these amazing videos. And I believe we've got a video of John that we brought with us today.
Okay, do we have the video of John? Can we see that?
John has been in foster care for most of his life. Wanting and waiting for an adopted family. He hasn't given up hope. Meet John.
The thing I'm most proud of so far is getting all the way up to here, really surviving foster care and getting through school. My plan for the future for my job is really, I'm trying to be a computer engineer, but right now, just to make a little bit of money in my pocket, I got a job for holding up a sign for daycare. Success means getting what you need done. If I could be famous with anything, I would make a high-tech computer. If I had my own country, it would be John's World. Adoption means basically a forever family.
For more information about adopting any child on the Heart Gallery, please contact us at heartgallerykids.org or call us at 727-258-4806.
So John is 17, but he's still interested in having that forever family. What's fueling that desire for John at the age of 17?
Well, it's the unknown. He's never had a family he can call his own. He came into foster care through no fault of his own, and he's one of the between 30 to 40 children available for adoption at any point on our gallery. And just because he's 17 doesn't mean he's stopped needing a family. In reality, he's never needed one more.
So interesting that you say that. Now, a lot of the kids that you're working with, have they come into the program because they've done something wrong, or is it because they're just desiring that forever family?
Well, every child that's available on the Heart Gallery of Pinellas and Pasco's website wants to be adopted. Children that are in foster care have come in through no fault of their own. They've been abused, neglected, or abandoned, and their parental rights have been terminated, which is why they need us to help find them a family. And we've got a pretty amazing track record so far. We're getting ready to celebrate our upcoming 300th adoption of children in foster care in Pinellas and Pasco County.
Yeah, I think you have a special event on Thursday to celebrate that milestone.
We do indeed. Fiesta on the Field. It's our amazing 10-year anniversary gala, going to be hosted at Tropicana Field, thanks to some tremendous support from Tampa Bay Times, so thank you.
Thank you.
And also from Tampa Bay Rays and Centerplate.
And I'm assuming there won't be a baseball game going on while you guys are on the field.
Well, I certainly hope not. They're going to be playing an away game that day. And instead, we get to have the joy and the honor of celebrating our 300th adoption and our 10 years of helping children in foster care find forever families.
Well, Hannah, I know it must be so rewarding when you get that opportunity to match a child with a forever family. It's so meaningful to our community. And we appreciate everything that the Heart Gallery is doing, and we appreciate you being here for Give Day.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thanks so much. Now, while our next guests are being seated, let's go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. All right. Welcome back to WEDU's live streaming for Give Day Tampa Bay. Joining me now from the Community Foundation of Tampa Bay, the driving force behind Give Day, is Wilma Norton. Wilma, how are you?
I'm good. I'd be a lot better if some of our technical issues nationwide had been resolved in the last few minutes. As I think everyone watching and everybody participating probably knows, we've had some glitches over the last couple of hours. Unfortunately, it's not just us. It's nationwide, from Sacramento to New Orleans to Nashville. The volume of giving apparently overwhelmed the system, and our partners at Kimbia, who provide the platform, are working really hard to try to get things fixed. So again, we're continuing to ask people to be patient. It's really frustrating that we had so much excitement and momentum, and we're kind of in a holding pattern right now.
Well, I think what we need is for our donors to hold on to that feeling of wanting to give and just check back on the website a little bit later.
As I said earlier, hang on to your credit card, hang on to that good feeling, hang on to those thoughts of how joyful you're going to be when you donate to one of these great nonprofits we've been showcasing here all day, and we'll let you know as soon as things are rolling again.
All right, and beyond the technical glitches, everything's going well.
Everything's been going so fabulously. That's why it's frustrating. We've had such a great response from all of our nonprofits and from our community. So we thank you for your generosity and for your patience.
All right, Wilma, thanks so much. And while our next guests are getting in place, we'll go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations.
Which hasn't moved.
Hi, Ernest Hooper with the Tampa Bay Times, back with you here on the WEDU live streaming for Give Day Tampa Bay. And now it's time for our lightning round. This is when nonprofits get 30 seconds to tell us about their organization and why you should support them on Give Day Tampa Bay. If they take more than 30 seconds, a giant cane will come and pull them off stage. All right, let's start with Beth Butler from NOPE Task Force. Beth, 30 seconds.
Good afternoon. We are Narcotics Overdose Prevention and Education Task Force in Hillsborough County middle schools and high schools. Because about 2,500 teens every single day try prescription drugs for the first time to get high, we go into middle schools and high schools with a free presentation, no charge at all to the school, and we make them see the real possibility of what can happen if they experiment with drugs. So far, we've reached 45,000 students in Hillsborough County, and we need donations to sustain our volunteer base of operation so that we can make this epidemic of youth substance abuse come to a screeching halt in Hillsborough County, in our nation.
All right, Beth, thank you so much. There you go. That's all I'm saying. Up next from the Community Food Pantry, Monica Wilson and Michelle Bloom. Ladies, go.
We are from the Community Food Pantry. We're located at Village Presbyterian Church, and we serve around 15,000 people per year shelf-stable foods, but not only just we hand out a bag, we also provide fresh meat, fresh produce, and even desserts for the kids, of which about 1/3 of our client population are children. A lot of them are elderly as well in our population, and we also work with the working poor. It's not just the people who are without a home or on the street, it's the people who have jobs that just can't make enough. So thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Community Food Pantry. Up next, Karen Fredericks from the National Alliance of Mental Illness. How are you, Karen?
I'm good, thank you, and thank you for the foundation for doing this.
We're from Hillsborough County in the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI, and we provide free support for families who have a loved one who is mentally ill, somebody who has any kind of brain disorder. And we also provide support for those who are dealing with any kind of brain disorder, mental health issues. We do that with support groups through the county. We have education programs. We have a family-to-family education program that helps families understand and gives them language for what those illnesses are, what the medications are, what the laws are. And everything we do is free. We are always looking for help, so both in money and in terms of time that you might have. So please give us a call. We do navigation as well to help families link with services. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Karen. And finally, we have the Mothers of Minors, Andrea Clark, Janice Weish. Tell us a little bit about your organization.
Mothers of Minors is an organization that looks to strive to help young mothers and low-income families to stand in the gap for them. We are in the process, and funding will be used to help support our second annual community baby shower, where we would support young moms between the ages of 13 and up with the basic necessities for their kids, as well as we also do workshops and different things to help these families become self-sufficient. And we are located in Pinellas County, and we help all of Pinellas County, and we do also have from Hillsborough and Pasco come to our baby shower.
And have you set the date for that community baby shower?
Yes, that will be July 30th from 1 to 5 at the North Greenwood Aquatic Center in Clearwater.
All right, well, that is our lightning round. And while we get our next guest in place, we'll go back to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. All right, welcome back to our WEDU live streaming cast for Give Day Tampa Bay. Joining me now from the Mama Africana Network is Labrea Cherry, Fale Gengmuta, and Evelyn Sikajipu. All right, ladies, I understand that your organization strives to help young African-American women and build their self-esteem and bring more positive energy to their lives. Tell me a little bit more about what you're striving to achieve.
Yes, our name is Mama Africana, and we've existed for about 10 years in Tampa Bay, and we're a Christian mentoring program, and our goal, our aim is to empower Black girls in their ethnic identity and in their relationship with Jesus, and we do that in different ways by mentoring, one-on-one, group mentoring, academic advocacy, college preparation. We just want to provide a space for them to be free and also to develop to be strong leaders in the community, in their home, and also in their schools.
And when the girls first enter your program, are you finding that they're grappling with self-esteem and feeling good about themselves?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. They tend to have a lot of things battling against them, whether it comes down to the stereotypes that they, have been already placed upon them, the whole entire angry Black woman. It starts at a very young age, unfortunately speaking. These are things that are picked up whether or not because they live in a certain place, because of their, economic economic background or socioeconomic background as well too, the places that they live in. We go after these young girls that are within these areas, but these are things that they struggle with, whether at school we hear so many times about them getting into fights because of people either looking at them a certain way or judging them a certain way. And so these are things that they're coming into. They're coming in with a lot of baggage as well too, but we are more than willing to help them start to unload and remove this baggage, to let them know, like, this is not a part of you. This does not have to be who you are or who others define you to be.
So what is the emotion when you see these young ladies come in and they start to gain that self-esteem and they begin to see the world differently and see themselves differently?
It brings a lot of joy to us. It's a lot of encouragement along the way to see them come in kind of in a hard kind of demeanor and posture, and then developing that relationship and sense of community and sisterhood amongst each other, and then softening to be a place where they are in more leadership roles and feeling good about themselves and feeling empowered, and then even their relationship with God just growing to a greater level. And so for us, it's always a joy and just a privilege to be a part of that process.
Yeah, I think, Evelyn, you told me earlier that you've actually had a couple of girls who've been in the program for 10 years.
Yeah. Well, yes, we've had girls who've been a part of the program since they were in middle school. We have a girl that she started as one of our original girls, and now she's at USF studying, getting her master's in speech pathology. Wow. And so we're really proud of that, of, you know, seeing our girls like not only graduate high school, but also even make it to higher education. We've had girls come in with their heads down and leaving with their heads like high in the sky, feeling like they can do anything and they can change the world, change the city. We've had girls come in bullied and leave empowered, you know, that they can like stand up for other girls. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, I guess that's an important component is getting them that ripple effect, as we say, and getting them to spread the message.
Exactly.
Well, I hope they come back and give you guys hugs.
Yes.
We
get them.
That's terrific. I'm glad you're enjoying that success.
Mm-hmm.
We want to thank you for coming in and joining us here on Give Day Tampa Bay. And now, while we get our next guest seated, we'll go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. Hey, welcome back to Give Day Tampa Bay. We're live streaming here on WEDU, and joining us now from Life Choices Women's Care is Renee Ellis. How are you, Renee?
I'm good, Ernest. How are you today?
I'm living the dream. Living the dream and glad to be a part of this. Tell us a little bit about the mission of Life Choices.
Life Choices Women's Care is a nonprofit organization focused on family planning services. We are here to energize a culture of life that upholds the dignity and beauty of women, to empower them and give them feminine abilities by offering holistic care, enrichment, and empowerment for women and families. The services that we offer are fertility care and family planning, pregnancy and childbirth, breastfeeding and postpartum, and family life. We have all different mommy support groups in English and in Spanish, so that women can come in and learn different ways of how to raise their babies, and we are there to give them support throughout this whole natural family planning service.
Well, I think the general public may make the assumption that everyone knows how to parent, that every mom understands how to raise a child. But your experience has been that they need some advice, correct?
Yes. We have women come in, you know, they're scared, they don't know what to do, they're young, they probably come from lower income families and they don't have the means and the services to provide, you know, to go out and spend $20, $30 on diapers and formula. So we offer them different classes so they can learn and raise mommy dollars and shop in our boutique. We offer free pregnancy tests, we offer free ultrasound. All of our programs are free, and all of the items that they purchase in the boutique are free, and everything is donated, from formula, diapers, and wipes, and baby clothes.
We think of young moms needing the kind of services that you provide, but you actually help a range of mothers, correct?
Yes, we have different services for teens. So we have like a tween program, and it's called the Beauty in You. So for young teens and tweens that either have started their menstrual cycle or not, just so we learned how to respect their bodies and to learn how to deal with turning into and becoming a woman. We have a program tonight actually called 40s and 50s and Fabulous. It's our menopause support group. So we have women that come in that are like, what is going on with our bodies? You know, we're sweating, we're moody. We offer different programs for them so they can learn about their bodies, how to deal with their symptoms, and have a good time drinking wine and having cheese and just getting together and sharing.
That sounds terrific. It sounds like you're offering a warm atmosphere. You're in Northwest Hillsborough and Southern Pasco.
Yes, we're located on Northdale Mabry in between Cheval and Calusa Trace in the Chateau Professional Park. So we are a program up towards Northwest Hillsborough because there's not many programs in Northwest Hillsborough that will help families that are in need.
All right. Well, Renee, I appreciate you joining us from Life Choices. Thanks for being part of Give Day Tampa Bay. And now, while we get our next guest seated, we're going to go to our leaderboard and get an updated total on your donations. All right, Ernest Hooper, Tampa Bay Times, back with you here on WEDU's Give Day Tampa Bay live stream. And we're going to have another one of our special lightning rounds where we'll give our participants 30 seconds to tell us about their organization and why you should support them on Give Day Tampa Bay. Let's start with Lou Ricardo from Catholic Charities. Lou, tell us a little bit about Catholic Charities.
Well, I'm representing Pinellas Hope, which is a homeless shelter ministry of Catholic Charities established in 2007. We've serviced adults since 2007, over 7,000 people. Our mission is to bring them to stable and permanent housing. We provide them counseling, case management, medical, dental, food, all sorts of wraparound services to get them back to stable and permanent housing, and that's our goal. Last month, we started a great initiative. We were trying to transition from tents to shipping containers. In partnership with the Knights of Columbus, we're converting 20-foot steel shipping containers into housing units, 3 separate housing units. And they're obviously far more durable, withstand a Category 4 hurricane winds. They provide privacy and security for the residents and comfort. They're air conditioned. So if you've ever been in a tent in Florida in the summer, you know what a big deal that is to the residents.
All right.
So go to hopecottages.org to learn more and hear our story from one of our residents, Millicent, in her own words, what is meant for her.
All right, Lou, thanks so much for telling us about Pinellas Hope. Up next from the Seventh Mom Project, we have Rebecca Harley Woods, the co-founder of the Seventh Mom Project. Tell us about the Seventh Mom Project.
Hi there. Well, the Seventh Mom Project is actually named for the 1 in 7 women who will face postpartum depression. We strive to educate, support, and connect moms to appropriate care for the most common complication of childbirth, and that is postpartum distress. Our peer support groups and provider education programs work to prevent suicide, which is the second leading cause of death in the first year after childbirth. So we definitely need financial support to continue our peer support groups, to reach out to providers, get moms screened, and get them help. We would love to invite anybody and everyone to join us tonight at Tampa General Hospital. We're going to be screening The Dark Side of the Full Moon, which is a documentary that explores postpartum depression and the crisis here we're facing in Tampa Bay.
All right, Rebecca, thank you so much. And that concludes this hour of our Give Day Tampa Bay webcast. But stay with us, because there are a number of outstanding groups yet to come. We have more than 550 nonprofits who are participating in Give Day, touching people's lives in hundreds of different ways. Here are a couple of outstanding organizations who are making a difference right here in Tampa Bay.
In 1964, the Civil Rights Act had just passed, and several women from Clearwater were assisting students at segregated Pinellas High School to prepare them for college. They were tutoring them, and they were taking them to Clearwater High School that had courses that weren't offered at Pinellas High School. Then in 1965, those same women formed the College Fund Committee in order to raise funds to send those students that they had been tutoring to college. And so they selected the top 5 from the graduating class, and they all were accepted at colleges throughout the United States. In 1966, the organization was incorporated, and our role was expanded not only to African American students, but to all students regardless of race, creed, or national origin.
I'm thinking of one that we're currently supporting. In the interview, she turned out to be the valedictorian of her class. She was going to the University of Florida. She had been homeless for 1 year and had, some difficult struggles, but she never made less than an A. I mean, she just was incredible. And she worked part-time at a veterinary hospital because she wants to be a veterinarian. And we asked her what her hobbies were. She said, "Oh, I don't have any hobbies. I don't have time for that." She said, "I read Harry Potter books. That's about all the time I have." And she works and pays her way. So she's doing very well.
Yeah, many of these students are the first in their family to go to college. And of course, during the recession, a lot of families had lost their jobs. And so we had a lot more applicants during that period of time. And so it does mean a lot. A woman who we helped 20 or 30 years ago, we are now helping her son attend college as well. And but she has been able to have a success. She's a single mother, and she's been able to have a successful career. But they still didn't make enough money to afford college, which is nowadays, of course, very expensive. So we've had, and we've had many families that have written us after their students graduate to thank us. When we publish our newsletter or our brochure every year, we always include those thank you notes, and they're really quite rewarding